Hey everybody, how's it going? It's your boy Social. Anyways, I wanted to cover this video because I live in this state that this stupid motherfucker's running. And I want to cover this and I want you to see this. John Fetterman is blaming TikTok. TikTok! For all the for him being a sore fucking loser. Let's watch this.
I do know that a lot of people are getting their perspective from TikTok.
John Fetterman, the Democratic senator of Pennsylvania and a full-time ogre, was on CNN
retard.
where he discussed why he thinks
sore loser.
the kids these days
Stupid
are so
motherfucker,
out
bro.
of touch with Israel.
Bald piece of shit.
So I'm gonna get to his clip, and then you know what?
Any other bald
I'm gonna
people don't
entertain
agree. I
him.
love you.
Entertain the idea that he puts forth. First here, in case you're not familiar with how wacky Fetterman has been recently, yes, he ran a good campaign pretending he was fighting for, real people and human rights and workers' rights, and now he's draping himself in the Israeli flag.
He looks like a big baby, bro.
There is
Fucking big-ass,
ongoing indiscriminate
big
bombing
bald
of civilians
baby.
in Gaza, reaching around now almost 20,000 civilians in Gaza, half of them children. But what do I know? It's Fetterman. He's got a point. Let's listen to where Fetterman puts the blame.
72% of young voters, according to this new poll, disapprove of how President Biden is handling the Israel-Hamas war. You've been very vocal in your full support for Israel. I see the Israeli flag behind you in your office there. You've been very clearly arguing that Hamas bears responsibility for the tragedy of what's going on.
I really think Fetterman hit when he fucking had a stroke or whatever, and he almost died. I really think that his brain took damage. His brain went
In Gaza. Why do you think so many younger people, especially in your party, see it differently?
I really don't know. I do know that a lot of people are getting their perspective from TikTok. And I think if you're kind of getting your perspective on the world on TikTok, it's going to tend to be kind of warped or not reflective of the history and actually the way things absolutely are.
Of course, TikTok. You know what? Maybe he's right. Famous TikTok influencer, the New York Times.
Oh, look at these TikTokers.
Writing, Gaza civilians under Israeli barrage are being killed at a historic pace, showcasing that women and children make up a large portion of the civilians being killed, and these numbers are as of November 25th or 30th. But another big TikToker has an update. CNN World, massive
That's TikTok, bro.
CNN
TikTok.
World,
Why are you
with
looking at
the
CNN
death
TikTok,
toll
bro?
from both Israeli and Palestinians, and you see 2023 here.
That
massive
is fake
number.
news. That's
They are now
literally fake.
estimating
This is CNN
at least
TikTok. It's on TikTok.
19,600
TikTokers talk
Palestinians
about
in
this.
Gaza
Fake.
have been killed. So more propaganda being spread by the
China.
TikTok
It's clearly
influencer CNN
China.
World.
It's young people being dumb.
Half of those
Go
are
get
children.
a margarita, macchiato.
The TikTok influencer United Nations
coffees
here
iced
with their
coffees.
report. UN experts call on international community to prevent genocide against the Palestinian people. This is from back in November.
The UN is
Grave
TikTok,
violations
though.
committed by
They
Israel
are
against
TikTok, are
Palestinians
they
in the
not?
aftermath of October 7th, particularly in Gaza, point to a genocide
They
in
are
the making.
TikTok.
TikTok influencer, the UN there. Here's a massive TikTok
B'Tselem,
influencer, Israel-based human rights organization B'Tselem.
human rights
Israel is not
group,
fighting against
TikTok.
Hamas, but against civilians, implementing a criminal policy of bombings. And this is a TikToker that's in Israel. So this big TikTok influencer, the human rights organization,
Literally,
they
TikTok,
are,
dude.
they got their finger on the pulse of the propaganda, as you can see.
I work for TikTok,
And
guys.
massive TikTok influencer here, Chris Hayes of MSNBC. So here,
This
his,
cat right
his
here.
report.
If you spend
Onyx?
any time at all reading the Israeli press, listening to what Israeli leaders and commentators are actually saying, it is very clear that for a lot of people in government, the mass destruction of Gaza, raising it like Putin raised Grozny or Assad raised Aleppo, is the point,
This
the
motherfucker's
goal.
TikTok. He's TikTok.
Many prominent members of the Israeli governing class don't think there is such a thing as an innocent civilian in Gaza, have said that everyone in Gaza deserves their
literally
fate.
tick and a talk. Look.
From Knesset member Meirav Ben-Ari saying that, quote, the children of Gaza have brought this upon themselves, to an Israeli military spokesman saying the emphasis of Israel's military campaign was, quote, on damage and not on accuracy, to Israel's president, Isaac Herzog, suggesting there are no civilians in Gaza and everyone is a legitimate target, to journalist Shimon Riklin, who said this on Israeli TV.
חס וחלילה. פשע מלחמה זה אני, אתה רגל על הגב. פשע מלחמה זה אני. אני מודה, אני אגיד את זה פה, לא אכפת לי שירדו עליי, אוספים פה חומרים. אני לא נרדם טוב בלי שאני רואה בתים קורסים בעזה. מה אני אעשה? עוד בתים, עוד מגדלים, שלא יהיה להם לאן לחזור.
That's not a fringe view in Israel. I mean, even the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, invoked the lessons from the biblical story of Amalek and addressed the nation in Hebrew in the end of October. And in that biblical chapter, God commands King Saul on how to respond to an attack by the rival kingdom of Amalek. Quote, now go attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put them to death, men and women, children, infants, cattle, and sheep, camels, and donkeys.
No, but it's TikTok. TikTok. That's why. That's why people are outraged. When I first saw that Fetterman clip, I thought of The Simpsons because my brain's broken. Old man yells at cloud, of course, famous meme, and of course this one. Principal Skinner here. Am I out of touch? No, it's the children who are wrong.
Clearly, the
Fetterman,
children
what
are wrong.
a
Children
complete
suck, right?
embarrassment. He is essentially. Let me show this clip
They're
as well. I covered
like
this recently because it was at the last debate.
He
He is essentially parroting Nikki Haley talking points.
For every 30 minutes that someone watches TikTok, every day they become 17% more anti-Semitic, more pro-Hamas based on doing it.
Everyone else that watched that clip thought, what a loon. Fetterman saw that and thought,
bro, Fetterman's a fucking loser, bro. Fetterman, go leave office, you fucking big old 8.
What is there to say about John Fetterman, man? He is...
Fucking
it's one thing to be
foot.
paid by far right-wing groups
bro.
to shut up.
Just a big old waste of a
comments,
hoodie.
which already would be
Fetterman.
Indefensible when you're in a position of power like a senator. But
he literally took money from J Street, guys. He took money from J Street.
Just completely be a tool of the far right-wing Israeli government through all of this indiscriminate bombing, pretend like they're doing nothing wrong. He's been, as far as I have seen, he has been the worst Democratic senator on this issue, which is saying a lot considering how many conservative Democratic senators there are. He's been the worst.
So much fun of him.
And it was just,
Fetterman, dude.
A handful of months ago, he was running as a progressive.
Shitterman.